Uh-oh. Hi, I'm Benji Blackstone, and this year I challenged myself to... What did I do? And this year I challenged myself to create a real-life zombie game and release it worldwide at least one day before GTA 6. And we've hit a very interesting milestone, because last month we held the second playtest for the game, and not only did we include multiplayer, we also had around 1,000 people taking part. So 8 months ago is when we set off on this adventure to try and bring my prototype zombie game into reality. The objective of the game so far is quite simple. You run around, collect 5 things, and then you try and escape. What wasn't going to be simple was trying to get it working on a worldwide scale on both Android and iOS, and including multiplayer. But to recap, the first few months of this project was mainly about putting a plan together and trying to understand the feasibility of it. How do we keep costs low? Which mapping tools do we use? How do we make it so that zombies actually navigate around buildings? And how do we make that part of it work on a worldwide scale? And in March is where we held our first playtest and confirmed that our current infrastructure could actually work, which was great. And then a couple of weeks ago, we held the second playtest, which not only had multiplayer included, and for the first time we would be testing on both iOS and Android, we also aimed to increase the number of playtesters from 100 to 1,000. Managing 1,000 playtesters isn't so bad as long as nothing goes wrong, which it did almost immediately. Like, for the first hour or so, I don't think anyone could actually access the game on both Android and Apple, but for completely unrelated reasons. And although the issues got resolved relatively quickly, there was enough after effects and confusion from the initial issue that I was kind of on support for most of the entire playtest, which means I sort of missed the fact that even with an additional 900 or so people, the game just kind of worked. When I saw the footage of the game working in Mexico, I almost couldn't believe it. Like, we don't get too much POV footage, but I think the playtesters are just a bit shy, which is fine. So thank you so much. I won't dox who they are, but thank you so much for sending me this footage and allowing me to use it in this video, because it looks beautiful. Like, Mexico is really far, and this look at the load times, man. Like, what? But when you pull it back and we look at the full scale of the number of countries that were involved in this playtest, like, we are continental. Like, it's been tested on every single continent except the ones that are covered in penguins, which is great because penguins don't have thumbs. And as far as I could tell, from all the feedback, from what I was reading in the Discord and things like that, astonishingly, I think there were absolutely no problems at all, except the one really big problem. Loot. It can show up in water, it can show up in your neighbor's backyard, and it can show up on train tracks. And all of this makes it the most frustrating problem with the game. Thankfully, we kind of already had a solution that we wanted to test, and now we finally had the time to try it. What if, instead of downloading all of the buildings in the world, we also downloaded all of the water and the roads too, but not the oceans? Don't ask why. And then we prioritize loot spawning on roads and walkable paths as opposed to just spawning randomly. Now this did mean we had to vastly beef up the machine we were using to do this, which did increase the cost of our very small shoestring budget, but it was necessary and we kind of needed to do this in order to get this done. All in all, after basically a week or so of work, we finally ended up with this, a heat map of sorts of walkable areas, and this can be generated on any point on the planet as long as it has geographical data. So the first place I wanted to test was London Bridge, because if you remember, if you were here for the very first episode of this series, you might remember that the game really wanted me to jump into the Thames. So I'll just do a quick run here, because I want to show off something cool. 3, 2, why am I nervous? What if it doesn't work? Oh, it'll work fine. Okay, here we go, and boom. So yeah, as we can see, like, this is pretty cool. Do you notice how like nothing's spawning over here in the water? So, here we go again. You can see here that again, the loot is spawning on the opposite side of the bridge. Yes, there are some zombies in the water. As long as the loot's not in the water, that's the main thing. And you'll notice here as well, a lot of the loot is showing up not in places you can't reach, they're showing up on roads and areas that are walkable. And we're probably gonna die here, which is fine. No rest. And you notice how they appear to be following the road. They aren't cutting through buildings as much. Okay, so now we gotta go. Best route is ahead to the left. And just like that. Before we get to the escape, I want to show though. I wanted to show that like the escapes hadn't spawned in the water as well. Next, we went to Canary Wharf because there is a lot of water there, and because I took the wrong train. Let's go. What are we doing? There's something down here. Okay, let's go. Cool. Let's go. Cool. There's actually something on the bridge, is what we wanted. Huge blob. Oh, there's no way through. Or maybe. Okay, I think we're dead. 100% dead. So the correct option was to turn right and keep heading in that direction. But more importantly, if I start, again, it's avoiding the water. It's even also avoiding the train lines. But what about backyards? You can see here that there's a lot more unreachable areas like back gardens and things like that. So in the past, you could have had a situation where a whole bunch of loot was spawning here instead, and then that would be unreachable. So I'm gonna give it another shot here. Here we go. And yeah, you can see all around, most of it is showing up in those areas. So let's just do a quick, one, I guess. I just don't know which way to go. Oh, now it's getting sunny though. But yeah, this is much more of a residential route. But yeah. Whoops. And again, nothing showed up on the river. Oh, it's actually that way. Oops. It's all showing up in areas you can reach. Okay, getting chased down there. Let's go. what's even cooler is I think this is probably private space, but the loot hasn't shown up in there. Oh fuck. Stairs. Oh fuck. Okay. Oh shit. Switching hands, man. Oh, it's wet, it's wet, it's wet, it's fucking wet. Uh-oh. I think this might be trouble. Wait. No, we're good, okay. And we're out. And there we go. So you can see the little path we took for all the roads there. We were able to pick up everything. Nothing showed up in any areas you couldn't reach. But yeah, I'm good. Taking a break. Alright. So far we've done 2 or 3 different tests. And yeah, at least for this area, because obviously this is London, so there's so much more mapping data in London. It didn't like drop any stuff in the park I couldn't reach. It dropped stuff from different tiny side roads. The zombies were also actually navigating as well. They were spawning, like, we'll have to rewatch the footage, but I don't think too many zombies were spawning in the water. They can still go through the water, but in this new mode, it changes so it actually spawns in walkable areas as well, if you set it like that. And yeah, there's just one final thing I gotta check, because there is one problem with this mode that I think occurs in places like public parks. Parks and public open spaces are a bit weird, especially with this new system that we're trying out. Okay, so here we are in the middle of a park. Because if loot is basically designated to only spawn in paths that are marked on the map, then that means that a lot of that open space can no longer have loot in it. So when I start it up, basically they're gonna show up primarily near the paths. Do you see that? As opposed to it maybe showing up over here in this green space. But if you include all of that public space, that means loot could show up in actually private areas of that public space or unreachable areas of that public space. And so that becomes slightly more finicky to deal with. Effectively, that's what paths are in public spaces. They're showing you the parts of it that are easy to navigate. And so if you just walk into these other bits, maybe it's free and open and you can easily traverse through it, or maybe there's a giant nettle bush that you can't actually get through, or maybe it's actually private land and you might get shot. So we got 2 minutes. Ain't no way. Screw it. Go, go, go. Oh, never mind. I thought I could get over that. I accept my defeat. And on a worldwide scale, this gets very messy, which is why I like the idea of loot settings being customizable. If you're in a suburb or residential area, you pick the stricter setting, so that way loot doesn't show up in your neighbor's backyard. If you're in an open public space, that's when you pick a looser setting. And if you want to leave it completely to chance, so loot can show up anywhere, even inside of water, that's when you pick the random setting. And you might be thinking, why would anyone want to use the random setting? Well, a couple playtesters actually have expressed the want to play the game while swimming, which sounds pretty cool, I guess. I don't even know if it would work in the water, especially with phones, but Godspeed. But don't blame me if your phone breaks. Did it get brighter? Did it get brighter? So, what now? We're in a really weird spot because we completed all the stuff we said we were going to do. But there's still stuff to do. What the f? But now that we've reached this weird sort of plateau, because we've kind of completed all the stuff we planned up to this point, let's say we only have time for 4 or 5 different features or fixes that we can do before we have to release the game. Which ones do you think the game truly needs? We have around 4 to 5 months until the deadline, so I'm going to keep holding fast and moving forward. And of course, thank you everyone so much for the support. I would not have been able to predict that 8 months later we would have had 1,000 people trying the game out all over the world. Pretty crazy. And until next time, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Have a beautiful day, and I shall see you on the next time where I shall be showing off even more of my parkour skills. Bye-bye. It's not a big a deal. You've done this 10,000 times before. Whew. But never on camera. Just play it cool, play it cool, play it cool.